Hey, what's up guys, bringing you an Ice Beam Wizard build. This is a Torment 6 viable build. I haven't really tested it too much in Greater Rifts, but I'm sure it can handle a lot of them just fine. It's big on control, as far as freezing and moving the enemy, but let's get into the skills. Okay, for skills we are running Ray of Frost with Black Ice. Those clouds that the spell leaves behind do an insane amount of damage, especially when the enemies are all piled on top of each other, which this build does pretty well. We have Energy Armor with Prismatic Armor, just a lot of defense right there. Familiar with Arcanaut, helps with the Arcane Power regeneration. Black Hole with Absolute Zero. We are running a cold build, so why not add some damage to it? Magic Weapon with Conduit, again, just a little extra damage, and then some arcane power regeneration. Then we have Teleport with Safe Passage, just some extra defense when we're in a tight pinch. Works really well with Illusionist. So we're running Unwavering Will, Blur for more toughness. Illusionist, like I said, works very well with Teleport. Every time you get hit, especially in the higher torments, you can just blink away. Very helpful. And then we're using Cold-Blooded for some extra damage. Alright, let's go to the gear. Okay, for the gear we're running, one thing I will say, you do need Light of Grace to run this build. It allows your Ice Beam to pierce through the enemies and hit multiple targets at a time. Otherwise, it's not too good. Definitely wouldn't be viable. But anyway, another thing that would help this build, not required, but definitely helps the build, is the Esther Johann. Pulls all the enemies together, and then you blast them down, and really helps when they die on top of each other because you leave those clouds. It does a ton of damage. I've seen it tick for 150 million. It's pretty crazy amount of damage it can do. So, also something to mention, my Templar also has one, just to help pull the enemies on top of each other. Then Black Hole's really good for that as well. I am running Telrashas, nothing too special. One thing I will note, if you're trying to go into higher Greater Rifts, I would recommend switching out the Telrash's belt for a String of Ears, just for the extra melee damage defense. The meteors are nice, I guess. The ice one stuns the guys pretty well, but other than that, definitely take the extra defense when you're trying to go into higher Greater Rifts. We have some gloves. They add for toughness. Right now, pretty much all I had that I thought would work well with this build, but these are optional. Got a Stone of Jordan with a Bane of Trapped in it, a Ring of Royal Grandeur with the Bane of Powerful gem in it, and we have an Azarath. Helps us freeze the targets, and quite a bit of cold damage. Then we are running the Black Thorns for the extra defense and damage against elites. And just Oggles, pretty basic stuff. And as far as the Paragon points, I mean, these all depend on what level you are and what kind of gear you have. So I put them in resource cost reduction and then life on hit. And then everything else is pretty standard. Nothing too crazy going on here. So let's get into gameplay so I can show you how this build works. Okay, for this build you also need quite a bit of toughness. You're staying still, so things can come up and just whack you. Illusionist does help with that, but you also don't want to get one hit or half health just from one hit. You'll end up dying a lot. There's the Esther Johann proc. CC in this build definitely does help the survivability though. Freezing them there. Gather them up right there. Once one falls, they crumble pretty fast. Gather them up again right there, and they just melt once one dies and leaves the cloud. Burn them down right there. Waller is a pain for this build, just because it blocks the ice beam, but it is still pretty doable. Get walled in there. Try and blast them down right there. And as you can see, once one dies, I think I saw 82 million tick on those clouds. They do quite a lot of damage. And gather them out there, stack them all, and just melt them. Stack them up. And as you can see, they're just 100 mil, 90 mil. And they're all stacked on top of each other. It does an insane amount of damage. But that's basically it. I hope you liked the build. Feel free to try it out, tell me what you think. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.